Yeah, so Tom recommended Videodrome, and I had not seen it. I'd heard of Cronenberg, but I'd not seen a Cronenberg. So I decided to put it on, and I got to about the scene with the ear. And I stopped it. I took a break. I needed a break. And then I watched this movie in like 10 or 20 minute segments over like a month because it's tough to stomach. There's a lot going on in this movie. And then I watched it again kind of all the way through. Um, but yeah, what would you guys think? Huh?
I originally saw this in a philosophy class in graduate school. It was a lit class, but philosophy and film. And the class was a summer class on like, geez, Thursday night or something like that. And what it would be is the class would go for 2.5 hours till like 8:30 or something. And then after that, he wanted us to stay in the room and watch the movie together as a group. And that would be followed. So I'd finish up by 11:30, and that would be followed by a 2.5 hour subway ride home from the Bronx. So
Wow.
yeah, so I saw this move and then work at 9 the next day. And he also wanted us to do homework right after. He liked that kind of frantic state. He wanted the students to be kind of frantic all the time. And so the kind of the effort to do the work as well as to transport myself sort of felt like a hallucination, much like I started to I started to see things much in the same way the character did, because I'm just like, in this like really bad area in the Bronx at like midnight trying to get home so I could write a paper about, like the Freudian effect in the film. So, it was and I also couldn't watch the ear scene either.
Phew.
This time or the last time or any
Ay,
time, even
ay.
though I've seen this movie a number of times.
So this isn't the movie I thought I was going to see because I know Cronenberg does a lot with body horror. This is the first time I've seen a Cronenberg, and I was excited to see it. But I saw it after Tom and KJ had already started to watch it. And now I know why I kind of had a false interpretation of what I was about to witness, because I have a feeling that they had both gotten through the ear part that KJ is referring to and Tom's referring to. And I thought the whole movie was just going to be something to gross me out. So I will say, in some regards, I'm pleasantly surprised. It isn't as horrid as I thought it was going to be. It is out there, but I thought I was getting to something completely different. What I will say, too, is I saw this movie in 3 parts. The first part, and roughly 30 minutes each, I was confused on what the heck I was watching, because that's where a lot of this gross stuff or S&M type stuff or just really out there type stuff was. The second watching of the middle, I actually started to really enjoy this movie because I saw they were going somewhere a little deeper, or I thought they were. I wanted to know more about these mysteries or what really was going on. And then the third part was just kind of crazy, and I didn't really get all the resolutions that I was hoping to get, but it happened. So I'm happy I saw my first Cronenberg. I thought it was going to be a lot more gross because they kind of set the stage for that before I watched it, but it is an interesting watch.
So yeah, this is the first time I've seen this movie, but I have seen, I believe, 5 other Cronenbergs. The Fly was the only one that I remember with like noticeable horror. So I also saw The Dead Zone, Existence, History of Violence, Eastern Promises. I mean, the History of Violence and Eastern Promises were very violent, but I don't remember, there wasn't any like grotesque body horror that I remember. Um, so yeah, I was kind of expecting, what I saw in The Fly, and it'd been a while since I saw it, but it's it's gross, but that the stuff that's extreme is, it's almost kind of funny to me. It's like watching, I think it was The Evil Dead, where it's so unrealistic looking that it doesn't even bother me that much. But the ear, and I assume you mean the piercing of the ear, which,
Yes, the piercing of the
yeah,
ear.
which
Yes.
is
That's what
really,
we meant.
yeah,
Yes.
which is really, it's funny because like I found it hard to watch, but I imagine her ears were already pierced, and it's probably not. You could use an actual needle and put some fake blood, and it's like it looks real, and it could actually be real going through her ear if it's pierced already. But so I just find it funny that it's that one thing that's it shouldn't really be that horrible to watch, but that was the one thing that made me cringe the most, and I think same with you guys. It's probably like the most practical effect of all the effects that were done in the movie, I would imagine.
I also had some halibut. I ate some halibut this time.
During the ear scene, Tom?
I closed my eyes and swallowed some halibut. Let's not leave that in. That came out not like I intended.